Good evening. This is Jupiter Exile, and tonight we're continuing our SL1 run of Dark Souls 3. Once it finishes logging in. It is storming out here, something fierce. I just got a severe thunderstorm warning. Hopefully that doesn't knock out the internet or anything else untoward, but for now, we'll continue. So let me pull up the stream, make sure that's going. Yep, looking good. Okay. Okay. So the last I recall, I have some traveling to do. I haven't actually equipped the Chloranthy Ring that I got. That could be important. I can also equip a Covenant. Being in a Covenant in Dark Souls 3 is really simple. You just equip it to an item slot. Very convenient. That's right, I wanted to buy more fire bombs before I leave here.
Ah.
Let's see. We can also start stocking up on pine resins. Dark Souls 3 shares a mechanic in common with Bloodborne, where we have a certain number of held items versus stored items. Held items are replenished automatically based on what's in what you have stored. I believe that the resin lasts longer than the bundle by a lot. Temporarily applies, quickly applies. Yeah, charcoal pine is faster to use, does not last for long, so that's part of that mechanic there. And yeah, we'll just buy like 30 of these, just for utility purposes, and I'll spend the rest of my money on charcoal pine resin, because I'm definitely going to want that to be on hand. Although, so long as I'm using a fire weapon, I can't make use of charcoal pine, so, whichever one. So, we'll be moving along to the Dilapidated Bridge. Yeah. Yeah, this is the fastest way, I believe. So we need to get back over to... I've been to that. That's earlier in the settlement. I might need to go back there later. Anyways. I might have set myself a little bit far back. That's right, I forget the weapon art for the broadsword. It's a stancing attack. I'm going to see about getting the rest of the items that are over here. Yep, you guys would clearly, kindly get out of the way. Yeah, we no longer take damage at all from the arrows that are raining down. You are able to start gameplay with the White Birch branch offering, and I actually like to start with that a lot, because if you start with that offering, the giant actually starts friendly to you, and you don't have to go talk to him. He, like, staggered me by falling over. That's pretty weird. Anyways, let's continue up through there. Yeah, I definitely ran the wrong way over here. So on revisit to this boss arena, it's just kind of a big old crater. There's not much for us to do there. If we were a member of the Associated Covenant, we could warp down there to continue offering vertebra shackles, the currency for that covenant. Let's kill that super quick and move along. There's a pack of guys here that I want to skip, so I'm gonna go up these stairs and wait for them to pass. Yeah, this is a bit of taking the long route. There they go. Don't mind me. Just making a bit of a ruckus. Dodge that, avoid that. And we'll head on through to here with the elevator. There are still, I believe, a couple of other crystal lizards if I went down into that swamp area. Are we going up or down? We want to go down, so take a moment for that. Yeah, I believe I've left a couple crystal lizards behind right now. We do look a bit of a mess. We've got an Ember still active from the previous boss. This does make us possibly susceptible to invasions. Let's see, do I have emotes at the ready? If somebody invades... let's see. I've got a wave, bow. We don't do point down here. We can do hurrah. Make sure that I have toast available. And perhaps sleep. Okay, and here we have an Irithyll Knight. I don't remember if he's actually avoidable or not. The door at the far end of this place. Can be very hard to deal with if we actually take the frostbite effect. Rough. Cool. I was not going to get that stamina bar back, so I had to make sure he died before I ran out. Yeah, this door takes a fairly long time to open, so if you try to skip the Irithyll Knight, he's likely to get in your way and prevent you from actually opening that. On the other side, we get a bonfire pretty much immediately. So here in this area, we'll take a quick rest to restore Estus. The Knight is a one-time spawn. He doesn't come back. We get his sword every single time he gets killed. His sword is okay in like a standard run. I don't think we can equip it without using some rings. Yep, we would have to use a dexterity ring to use it in two hands. These guys are a little interesting. It's usually a good idea to just avoid most of them because their attack pattern is pretty frenetic. We're going to kill a number of them. They drop. I believe they can drop a powerful item that I'm on the lookout for. It's a Rotten Grew Dagger. Which is actually a viable weapon for poison strats that can be wielded in SL1. I think we have to get past the Dancer before we can use those. Yeah, once they finish growing wings is when they go all crazy. So you have a bit of time on that. Or you can let them finish growing wings and then kind of dodge an attack and get on them afterwards. So now things get trickier because we've got more of them and they've got some different weapons. There's also a caster variant on the left. I want to kill at least one. We'll finish that out. This caster up over here uses a toxic mist effect. I think during some patches, the staff dropped by that caster is actually particularly broken. It had a poison effect that actually scales with your maximum health, if I remember correctly. I was reading about it a bit. It's not a strat that I've ever used. A lot of very conspicuous trees. There is a low route here that I need to remember how to get to. I think it's by dropping down over here-ish. Some guys up there that might harass us in a moment. Conspicuous Bloodstain. This guy is a rough customer. So for a moment, at least, we're going to avoid him. So we get some items that can be fairly potent for certain builds. Bye! Oh man, that's pretty good. That's pretty nice. I think I actually need to quit out and go back in because wait, no, we don't want auto lock on. That's dumb. I think that person drops their weapon, which is kind of interesting. I don't expect to use it, but I hate leaving stuff sitting around, you know? It's just like I need to keep my game nice and tidy. Feather duster it. So, quitting out and jumping back in. Any items that were dropped by somebody who has fallen off a cliff should be back on the cliff. Okay, guess he doesn't have important drops. Or maybe he does. Yep, that's it. The Butcher Knife. I don't think we can wield that. No, but it's only because of a strength limitation. So, let's see, 20 strength, 24 I don't think we'll ever qualify for. I think the most we can ever wield is 22. But it's a pretty neat weapon otherwise. Like, for casual play, it's pretty cool. It has like a special buffing action that causes it to do more damage. Yeah, so we kind of finish its transformation animation faster when we give it a good slap. So that's something to watch out for. Yeah, I believe we don't have anything important over here. Continuing right along. Alright. One of these segments, there's like more stuff. Could have sworn there was something down below. Okay, here we've got a caster with the poison stuff on the other end of the bridge. And he can make like life difficult if you just charge blindly at this first guy. Ow. Okay, that one has a bit of a bad turning radius. That's helpful. Okay, here we're going to run around these guys. The scream of the caster forces them all into their transformation. But we don't really care either way. Come up here and grab that. Come up here. Give them all a bit of time to move. And then we're just going to rush through here, because that's actually the end of that area. We don't need to worry about all those goods. Just light this bonfire. Ow. Taking a rest will reset those guys, even if they are currently attacking me, which is quite helpful. And we'll have a chat with these two figures, starting the quest lines for Henri and Horus.
Unkindled, this is Horus, a friend and travelling companion. Are you too in search of the Lords of Cinder? We are well along the road of sacrifices. Below us is the Crucifixion Woods. Beyond the flooded woods lies Pharyn Keep, home of the We seek the cathedral. We may go our step the next time we may the flames guide.
These two are after Aldrich. Horus doesn't really talk, but he is a blue sentinel, and he'll kind of offer you membership in that way. Horus will talk later if he's upset, and there are some things that can happen to upset Horus. As in the other Dark Souls games, there are a lot of things that can happen in terms of the quest lines for the various NPCs. In Dark Souls 3, each of the NPCs you are interacting with, most of them have stories that tie in with the various... Oh, gotta make sure this doesn't skewer me. That tie in with the various Lords of Cinder. The individual, the distraught one back at Firelink, is actually related to the Pharyn Knight, being an ex-Pharyn Knight himself, by the name of Hawkwood. Pharyn Knights are the first Lord of Cinder that we're going to take on, and so he'll have some extra dialogue for us when we're done with that. This place is pretty sprawling. There's a lot of stuff to do and look at and items to grab. just like some of the last couple areas. Dark Souls 3 is good at having like big spaces, so we're gonna run around here for a bit, grabbing random stuff while we remember where everything is. These guys, I believe, are poisonous, just like in other games. And I got right in there. And I don't have any poison curative moss. Thankfully, this isn't Dark Souls 2 poison, so we're not already dead. Like, Dark Souls 2 poison would have killed us 3 times over by now. Yeah, there's a lot of guys around, and we're going to make some of them mad while we grab all sorts of random items. Okay, that hurt a good bit. I think I've anchored some dogs. Okay, we'll take a death. That's fine. So further on over that way is another bonfire and a kind of caster-heavy area. We'll get along with that shortly. Although this area is kind of big, there are broadly like 2 forking routes. There's kind of a straight route and a route on the left. I don't really want to deal with you. Can I not? I pretty much have to. What do you have for me? A pike. It looked a whole lot like he was wielding a log rather than that, so. But I'll take it. Tried to get in a dodge before that second guy got me. Didn't quite get there. There's a lot of Titanite in these here swamps, so we'll be able to restock on that and get our weapon pretty handily upgraded. Ha! I got tangled up on some weird terrain there. Take him out. Run through up here. I believe the bonfire is here. So go ahead and activate that, rest, replenish. Now over here we have some very big crabs, very large boys, which reminds me actually that this is not a bad spot to have a shield equipped. I think I'm going to go with the small leather shield, so we can have access to parrying for certain enemies. The giant crabs are quite dangerous. They're actually parryable. Let's see, I don't remember all the routes through here. Let me just kind of fish around. We want to take out that guy before he shouts a warning and wakes everybody up. Like, dude, let everybody sleep. You're being a jerk. Yeah, all of these other hollows will not aggro so long as that kind of lookout hollow is dispatched quickly. Yeah, a few items down there. I'll go back and grab those shortly. A little sneaky. I can be sneaky. Secret passage ahead. I think that's loosely correct here. Like, I vaguely remember that. I believe this... Yeah. We've got a an NPC over here who we can chat with. He's not going to like us because we're not very smart.
How very well. Indeed. However, what champ clearly so you want that in exchange from in the form of, well...
Sure.
Very one of... I am all unkindled one. We will learn...
Never mind, I was not too dumb to learn that. I guess it's a requirement of like 10. I thought I would not be able to have a real conversation with him. I can hear a crystal lizard. I think it's below me though. Blue bug pellets are for magic resistance. Yeah, we've got a few enemies down here in this area. want to be considerate about our ordering on this, so I'm not being too harassed the whole time. But, you know, I can also just try to skip it. Ooh! Aren't you feisty? And then up along this passage, we come upon a boss. Uh-oh. Yeah, he teleports around a bunch, is kind of his thing. Ow. He was refusing to go into the teleport there, and I got a little bamboozled. We're gonna come back for him later. I just wanted to take a quick run at him now. There's a bit more preparation we can do to have a better time of taking him on. Firstly, we actually want throwing knives on our bar to fight him. He has a phase where he creates some illusions. Well, I've aggroed this dog, so let's fight a dog. Kindly get out of here. Alright, and I need to go through the lower segment here to get a couple items. I think there's an Estus flask down here. These guys you don't want to underestimate. They have a grab attack that does quite a lot of damage, as well as kind of a rushing attack that can also do a lot to you. It's an Ember. There's another one of them over there, but he won't wake up if you don't annoy him. This guy will try to jump down on you if you are too overeager. Ran out of stamina. There's the Estus Shard. My memory served me well. So a lot of enemies do have undue reactions to fire in Dark Souls 3. You may have noticed that that guy holding the stump actually had a much, much longer stagger animation where he kind of flailed about because he was, you know, on fire. I'm going to try and remember if there's something back here. These guys are notably bad at redirecting since their weapon is a giant frickin' log pike. Right, this is the direction with those guys that drop from above, so you can clear them out first and just approach that from the other direction if you want. This is back along the backside before you get through here. There is a scripted invader here if you come through this location embered. He drops, I believe it's a fairly useful casting implement by the name of Heisel's Pick. So these crabs are not that slow. Get ourselves the Grass Crest shield. They're not that slow. I believe they do have a ranged attack. They don't like to leave the water. We've gotten the deep water now, which is causing us to roll very badly. He's not super good at getting around trees, but he's probably going to just murder me in this deep water here. That looks very likely. And then after that, we've got another one of those fellows there with the red eyes. And a Black Knight over here. He's running after me. I can hear him. He's making all kinds of clanks and jangles. I'm just going to do this, and then come down over here, behind the Black Knight, grab these, and then we're going to hustle over here for the Pharyn Coal. This gives us several new upgrade path unlocks for weaponry. He hopped down. I wasn't sure if he was gonna or not. Whoops, too many dodges. It's definitely possible to dodge too much and wind up in trouble. Alright, it is vaguely possible, I think, for us to sneak up on this guy and get a backstab. Not quite like that, though. You have to do it better. That's the secret. I don't think I can get through this. Nope. Not like that. I don't believe he'll leave the ruins, and we're not keen on fighting him. We're also not keen on fighting that guy, but I don't think he cares about what we're keen on. I think we're probably going to fight him anyway. Okay, so this is the early area. Gonna have to fight this dog now. Oh boy. Isn't this quaint? We've got friends everywhere. Oh, game lag? Well, excuse me. I am out of Estus. I'll fix the camera shortly. I won't be alive much longer, I don't think. Yeah, I think we just lagged things out enough for everything to get angry at us for a moment. Let's see. Webcam. And there we go, we're back. Okay. Alright, so we got to the other side of this, and we're on this little, like, kind of plateau area, and in order to progress, we actually need to kind of beat this guy on this staircase, who's got a big ol' stick. And there's actually two of them. There's like another guy behind him as well. I just went for a bad parry attempt on that. Yeah, the other one will want to get involved if you hang out in the wrong spot. Let's see. Now, I think at this point, do we qualify for the Grass Crest? We do. We can use the Grass Crest instead, which I believe still has the classic effect of speeding up your stamina recovery. Now, the Grass Crest is not a small shield, so it doesn't have the same parry window. It'll be a little bit trickier for us to parry with, but that's fine. We will have immense stamina recovery with this setup. It's already back. Super fast. This guy here we can challenge to fight. We kind of want to lead him out of the way so that the other guy doesn't get involved at the same time. Each of these guys are a unique spawn. If you kill them, they won't come back. Oh, they're both mad. I'm going to try and see if I can just skip past them if they're both going to come after me. I think they'll both follow me down the stairs here and make it really rough. But can I get the items behind you guys at least? Yeah, you're angry. You're a-coming. I can't get through there. That gate there is just kind of the reverse side of where I was earlier with the... Can I get down this before he hits me? Nice. It's the reverse side of the area with the Black Knight where we were earlier, so it kind of serves as a hint. Okay, this gets us into Pharyn proper, which is a horrible, dismal swamp, full of all sorts of unfortunate things. We're gonna get poisoned hanging out here. We're gonna have to fight an unruly number of leeches. There are several pretty tough enemies around as well. But there's a lot of loot, and we're probably going to get a bit more Titanite as well. That's just creepy. Yeah, there's a lot of items that kind of hang out in the swamp. We need to find kind of clean paths through things so that our poison doesn't get too bad. Thankfully, there are also some nice vantage points. Now, I also need to interact with a few things around here. There are some little altars, and I believe it's 3 altars you need to interact with to get everything opened up. So we're going to be working on that. Now, thankfully, these slugs are pretty bad with fire. I believe one of the things I need to light is up over this way. And I think there's an enemy at the top of these stairs. Yeah, these guys can be tough. Actually, these might be the guys who dropped the Gru Draggers I was thinking of before. Close call. Yeah. Oh, and he wasn't quite dead. That little forge thing there with the cup is one of those things I need to interact with in this area, so I'm going to have to soldier through to get those. We can also go back at any time and go fight the Crystal Sage. He locks off a different direction with other stuff. Some of these things are bad, I think. Yeah, walking this direction in the swamp, you're going to get poisoned. That's just the way of it. And I'm trying to remember what is over here that I actually need or is valuable before I disregard this direction and just go the other way. Okay, that's right. We've got Basilisks here. That second meter that he started to inflict on me is Curse meter, which is equivalent to Petrification. It is instant death if you get that meter filled. The Dark Souls 3 Basilisks are a bit more active at spreading around their death clouds, so you do have to watch out for that a bit. Oh, I think I went on the wrong direction of this obstacle. I think I might be able to get through here. This actually might be impassable. Okay, yeah, this has to be approached from the other side. Oh, nope, here we go. Okay. So we get this over here from a man who definitely just kind of drowned in this muck. Nope, that's not land. I thought it was, but... Okay. And all that puts us up here, which is on the opposite side of some obstacles. We would get here normally anyway, just going through a standard route of the place. These guys are really difficult to deal with. I find that grab attack is just a bit difficult to avoid with the way they started up. Let's see. With the amount of Titanite that I have right now, it's not a bad idea to head back and perform some upgrading, because I think I can get probably about 2 more upgrades on this. Let me go back to Firelink real quick. We've got the Miracle Maiden who's come back here.
I am Cirrus of the Sun's
Oh no, this is a
realms.
different person.
Duties we each bear. I doubt we've much to blessing. I doubt we've blessing.
Yep, Cirrus has a quest line we'll be getting into later. I think Hawkwood has some
At the
choice
foot
words
of
for
Lock
us
Creek,
about a
it
few
was
more
if
things.
You haven't given up. You can make. I don't need it. The undead sworn joy gain in Eve I.
Yep. The Undead Legion is our next opponent. So he gives us a little tip on what we need to interact with in order to kind of wake up the Legion. Not wake them up, rather, but get to them. The route to them won't open unless we activate those altars.
Just good, wasn't he?
We will hand over the Pharyn Coal.
Used to vote a fine now, praise the god.
So now we can infuse a few more things. Just hover over something so I can show it off. Heavy, sharp, refined, raw, fire, and poison. I'm trying to remember how we can see specifically what all of the infusions do, but basically, I believe sharp pushes it more towards dex-based advancement, whereas heavy pushes it more towards strength-based advancement. Yeah. Refined. Oh, right. I need to.
Pretty, I don't.
Let's see. Does it actually have all the details on these? No, it just says heavy, sharp, raw, undo weapon infusion, fire, etc., etc. Yeah. Heavy weapons scale better with strength. Sharp weapons scale better with dex. Raw weapons lose their scaling but have higher baseline damage. Fire weapons do fire damage but lose their baselines. So on and so forth. Let's see. That should be enough.
Just wasn't he?
Okay, and I need 3 more Titanite to get this up to a +3.
Pretty, I don't.
Alright, now do I want to go on the left side through the Crucifixion Woods? Yeah, I'm going to work on that for a bit. I'm going to take a couple more attempts at the caster. Now, the most effective damage type against this particular opponent is actually bleed. But I don't believe I have an effective bleed weapon at the moment. Let's see. Of the things we can equip, the reinforced club causes bleed, but I think that's it. Yeah, technically the Great Scythe causes bleed, but we're not going to be able to use that effectively. Okay, so we'll head through here. Kill this guy. Get hit by a spell, that's fine. Oh. We triggered the backstab, but not at the right angle to actually benefit from the backstab. There's the crystal lizard I was hearing before. Now he's gone. Crystal gems. And then up here. Ow. You were very rude. Well, that's enough out of them. I think I might need to fall down onto that in order to get the necessary loot that I'm looking for here. I'm going to take a quick look back out here, because I think this is a ledge. Yeah, so I can run over there and grab that, but it gets me out of here, basically. And then from up here, I can drop down onto this, which gets me this loot. Yoink. And I can drop down onto here. I can see a couple things, but Warriors slumber ahead. Be very quiet. Okay, so I'm gonna go over there and grab this other item. It's a little annoyingly out of the way. Yeah, oftentimes in the start of the area, you have to kind of play like what's valuable and what's unimportant. I would like to remember what's down here as well, apart from the angry boys. Sorcerer here. Excuse me. Sage ring would be very useful if I were a caster, which I am not. Oh, whoops. Didn't need to do that. Back over here, and previously we took the high route that's over this way, and I believe that's generally just the way we want to get through this, because the low route's kind of a mess. There's also a hole there that can drop you down to meet Mr. Angryface that we just found specifically. So I'm going to go out over and take this route, and thankfully and nicely, since this route has a little peaceable spot, I'm going to hang out here so I can use the restroom. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Just run around this upper area through here. Yeah, I'm gonna pretend you didn't try to shoot me with that. Okay, looks like both the casters crept back in there, so we should be able to calmly move to the here. Alright, second try at this guy. The crystals that spawn up while he is teleporting around are kind of incidental. They're not going to do any damage. Ah. I got gobsmacked. I thought I could get to him before he finished casting that smell, and I was wrong. Yeah, so the crystals that pop up are part of a telegraph, because he doesn't actually teleport, he just turns invisible. So if a crystal cracks, you know he's moved through that crystal. I'm going to head back down to Pharyn Keep because our weapons still aren't very good, and I mostly just want to explore various areas and gather up a lot of upgrade materials before I kind of commit myself to killing bosses. Yeah, like I could just run around right now and get Titanite shards without a whole lot of effort or anything trying to stop me. So I'm going to go ahead and do that a while. Prism stones, those aren't very valuable. Okay, now I believe, run for this. I will be poisoned soon. That is the material that allows me to apply poison to my own stuff. And we've got some dark wraiths over here. There we go. I got cheated out of my first backstab. Sage's Coal. I believe that allows us to make magical weapons, which we're not really going to be trying to use much here on SL1, but it's cool that we got it. Okay. Already been around here? I suppose so. I don't think I can go up in here. No, I can't. So, moving on. Change this out to purple moss clumps, because the poison effect will annoy the crap out of me. Alright. They'll often put up their shield between their attacks, so I just queued up a kick after that attack, buffered in, hit him pretty nice and quickly. So we extinguished the fires here, perhaps with our bare hands, is what's being suggested to me there. And thus cuts out one of 3 signal fires. Yep, once all that's done, we can get through that big spooky door. Okay, I'm gonna look around here, make sure I'm not missing too much in terms of items. The guy on my right here. That was ambitious. He actually started into a backstab animation. Rotten pine resin. We can use later. Poison stuff. Yeah, a lot of your incidental sources of damage, like various pine resins and things like that, actually have scaling factors in Dark Souls 3, so they remain more relevant in the late game than they are in the other Dark Souls titles, where you have to kind of replace them because they get outmoded. Alright, yeah, the deep muck causes poison a lot faster, and we're just going to let that go for a while. There's a greatsword. With the proper rings, we can actually use a greatsword on SL1 in Dark Souls 3. Yeah. The ones that run around on all fours aren't as dangerous in actual combat, but they have a tendency to come after us while we're in deep muck, and that does not bode well for us. Oops. Not looking at it, so it just kind of fell off. I believe there are a few other routes over here that have specific items. Like, I think there's something fancy over in this kind of cave over here. I don't remember what's going to try to stop me from getting... Oh, there we go. Yeah, we've got these big lugs here. Are overall, like, not actually that dangerous in their design, but they prove to be quite difficult for us to deal with just because we're a goon. And they have kind of a homing ranged attack thing going on. Nope, yep, he's mad. Yeah, he coming. Their whole thing is they mostly just kind of crash down with this, which causes these kind of red spirit things to rise up. Ow. Yeah, I buffered too many dodges in. I meant to do just one dodge in a couple of those times and wound up doing like 3 or 4. That's just jamming on it. That's no good. Okay. Up to 5 Titanite shards sitting spare. I think I need 6 for the next kind of meaningful thing. I can go through here and try to make a mad dash, but I did already light that bonfire, so it may not be necessary. Yeah, this place is nicely marked out such that if you just keep following the fires, you will wind up going through all the correct areas. But you can also, like, cut around that, and doing so means you won't have to fight as many guys. Theoretically. If you cut around it correctly. That third kick attack of his is very devastating if you have a shield out and you try to block it. Poison gem. That allows us to make a poison weapon if we want. He raises his shield as part of the stabbing animation, so that kick landed on him at just the right time. I don't want to wake up the sleeping guy again. I don't need to. So this time through, so last time we went over that way. This time we're just going to follow along with the flames. This is going to bring us face to face with one of these bare-handed goons. I got pretty lucky with him making the choice to do that jump attack twice in a row. I think that these things up here you may be able to knock down. Is that what's going on with those? Let's see. I'm trying to. I thought these are something. Well, if they are, I don't know how to interact with them. Ow. That was an early dodge, a late dodge, and some other stuff in between. He's not quite dead. There we go. We got there. And I'm going to quickly extinguish this third fire. That'll make that door open up at the end of this place. So just past these 3 guys is the next bonfire, so we want to be extra sure. So I'm going to huck some stuff at them. Yeah, one of them is a poison caster. So we snuck in there for a backstab on one, overpowered the other. The last one we will ideally knock off the bridge, but he wasn't into it. Cool, got it. We'll light the bonfire, but we won't rest at it. We haven't used too much Estus. We don't need to trouble ourselves by respawning everything. Wolf's Blood Swordgrass is a Covenant item related to the Pharyn Watchdogs, which are somewhere around here. The Pharyn Watchdogs are a blue invader covenant, similar to the, what are they called? There's an equivalent from Dark Souls 1. They're like the Forest Guardians from Dark Souls 1. They invade people in the Forest of Sacrifice, also the other area nearby. I think there are a couple spots around here where, if you're not careful, slugs can like land on top of you and give you a hard time. It's the only hard time you can get from slugs in this entire area. These are a mostly harmless enemy. Unlike, say, the blob creatures in the sewers in Dark Souls 1. There we go. That'll get us a better Estus Flask. We only really need to get our Estus Flask to be but so good before it starts just healing everything forever no matter what. But it's nice to keep that progress going. Okay. I was looking for this ladder. So we'll get on up here. It's a very long ladder. Okay. There are a few things to check out and be aware of up here. Is this the one? Yep. There's this guy for some twinkling Titanite. There is this illusory wall. Back over here. Gives us the Dream Chaser's Ashes. Being ashes, those are necessary in order for us to get certain purchasables. And we have this fellow over here, the old Wolf of Farren, which will allow us access to the Pharyn Watchdogs Covenant. We can also offer Wolf's Blood Swordgrass to him. I believe you can get a pretty fancy sword by, like, interacting with this Covenant. I don't fully recall. And then, let's go up or down. I suppose we're going up. I don't remember what there actually is to do here. So let's see, we can go higher up. What I remembered had to be done here was interacting with the Covenant. That's right, I think this is the bit with the big demon. Yeah, there we go, it's a bridge demon. Is there anything else over here? Somebody to talk to, perhaps? This dude seems to have not quite made it. Bummer, man. Yeah, there's a spot here where we can drop back down, and I think there's a couple items we might be able to grab. This demon is noteworthy. I can't recall if he's considered to be... He's not considered to be an official boss, he's like an honorary boss. Ouch! Yeah, don't get hit by that. It hurts. We'll have to call the elevator back down. But we can take another run at that thing right away. Let's see. Brigand Axe with the Battle Axe could be viable. know the hand axe is a possibility. The reinforced club is not that bad. I'm gonna send this down before I get back into this fight, so that if I die, I need to, so that if I die, I can just ride it back up again. Okay, yeah, this guy hits pretty hard. I think what I want to do here is go back to working on the Sage and get a couple upgrades in on the Reinforced Club. The Sage is very vulnerable to bleed damage, and our main weapon doesn't do bleed damage. I think he's maybe even also resistant to fire. I think physical is usually what you want to do against him. So also give me the chance to hand over these ashes.
Ashen
Green
this
Chaser's
word.
ash.
Oh yes, clinging to loft. It must come from one. Wouldst thou?
The Dream Chaser's ashes are actually an inside joke, as they provide us with access to, what's it called? I think there's like a pendant or an item that you can buy after turning those in, and it's the useless pendant from Dark Souls 1. People tried all over that game to find a use for that stinking pendant, and lo and behold, there was nothing. We do have access to Titanite shards as a purchasable now, so the next few like big gains of souls we get are just going to convert into a whole bunch of those. And actually, it's not a bad time. Oops, I did the wrong thing. I did it again. You can use several at once if you don't click too quickly through the menus. Use selected. There we go. I'm just going to crunch a lot of the souls I'm hanging on to and upgrade a couple different weapons. Optionally, I could also work through boss souls and such, but boss souls are kind of the proof that you've done this stuff, so I'm mostly going to leave them be. I'll leave a couple souls behind as well.
Just wasn't neat.
We'll go ahead and reinforce the Fire Broadsword, because it's still going to be our main, like, go-to weapon. Yeah, the Irithyll Straight-Sword uses, what's it called? Uses Twinkling Titanite to reinforce. Let's see, the Astora Straight-Sword is still largely our weapon of choice, but it does require that we're wearing a Faith Ring in order to use it. Later in the game, we'll be infusing it with the Raw effect, and it's kind of a key weapon for us. I have the Sage's Coal.
Well, I'd heard one of the Crystal Sages had sided with Pharyn's Abyss Watchers. I suppose you should know. Hardly a surprise.
Yep, that gives us access to magic weapons. And then we'll come back over here. And I'm going to purchase almost the maximum I can out of this.
Ashen one.
Yeah, we're going to go through a lot of Titanite as the game goes on.
Just wasn't neat.
And with this, we will start the reinforcement of the Reinforced Club. Okay, we can get it up to +2. We would need to buy 3 more, 3 more to get it any further. Yeah, it says it's weaker, but that's just because we're wielding in one yeah, there we go. That's better.
Heavens, she was already dead.
We returned to Grey Rat to find him still in mourning regarding Lorraine, or Loretta, whose bone we brought to him before. Just adding to a bit of the macabre of the world, as it were. We'll burn the undead bone shard that we acquired, taking our Estus flask up to +2, and we will travel back to the Crucifixion Woods and start making attempts on the Crystal Sage there. So I believe it's past the Crystal Sage to get into the cathedral. And the cathedral is actually where... the cathedral actually has a bit of a power spike for SL1. Yeah, so much faster to swing with than in Dark Souls 1. A bit of a bad time. Finish him off. We'll come over this way and skip the rest of the goons. And we'll back at the fight. One of the enemies down there tried to swing at my noisy footsteps through the wall. Yeah, they're really not having it. Yeah, we'll just ignore him and go through the fog door. And here we're at the fight. So I just need to give this guy, like, a little bit more space, basically. So periodically, he will cast something in my face, and it'll go badly. There he is. The spell we're hoping for every single time is actually Laser. Yeah, anytime we get in, we can get like a full roster of hits, basically. I think he's gonna go over here. Nope, I was wrong. We can kind of LOS several of his attacks a lot of the time. There he is. Oh, he decided to move again. Oh, he actually decided to slip into big boy phase. That one's not real. That one's not real. I think we're down to just the real one now. But if he teleports, I think he might set it up again. I did not see that Crystal Rain attack coming in. Okay, so we need a bit more aggression, because seeing him go into that phase with his health over 50% is really nasty. And we would prefer to not deal with that. It is nice that the run to him is like 120% consistent. Well, not super. We could randomly get killed by this spear guy someday, I'm sure. Like, let me watch my mouth before I get into that too much. That could certainly turn out poorly. Okay, I'm gonna check on my inventory a bit. I can apply Dark or Poison. I don't believe that's terribly effective against this boss. This is mostly just a boss that you want to beat to death with physical damage. Hence my slight weapon adjustment. I wish he would not do that homing thing. Yeah. Yeah, the slow homing is sometimes difficult to deal with while getting in good hits on the boss. Yeah, he can be just aggroed out of doing what he wants to sometimes. So that's pretty ideal. There's the music swell. He's serious now. Yep, that laser got me. So once he goes into serious mode, there's just an immediate scramble to try and get rid of a couple clones, so they're not continually casting at you. You can get rid of them with throwing knives. But at SL1, at the current point, our damage is a little low for us to just kill him off of guessing right. I could be running and hiding immediately, and then using throwing knives without trying to run one of them down. I think that's the way we gotta do it. I want him to be at something more like 40% health when he makes the transition. Just requires that if he's at over 60, like if he's hovering at about 60 to 50, and he manages to teleport away, he may go into the phase. It's kind of how he works. Man, it's so nice to have so much Estus despite being in the early game. Not to mention it uses so incredibly fast. I mean, it's offset by the fact that we die very quickly, but it's just so nice coming from like, oh yeah, you haven't beaten any bosses. Use like 2 Estus. Just want to be topped off here. Okay, I can't end with a heavy attack. He'll teleport out too fast. There he is. He might phase change now. There it is. That's the real one. About to say, please lock on. Dang it. Please launch. He might summon up another posse. I forget how this phase works. Yep. Yeah, from here on, he'll summon a posse every time he warps. I believe the real deal is the purple one every time, which was not quite what I recalled, but I'll take it. I need more throwing knives to deal with this. I just rolled into one of his attacks. Dang it. Okay. I need to buy more throwing knives, and I need to do more damage than this. This is not working. Getting, like, run around on this phase so much is just really not an option, I think. I need to beat him in just a couple cycles. That's interesting. It spawns me up with only one hand on the weapon. Okay, let's see. Given that, I could like farm up souls to get the other enhancements on this, because it's what? It's just +2. I could make it +3, but that's not very far. Like it's not buying me a lot. Let me see. think I might just be at the, you know, the tough point where it's like, yeah, you just got to toughen up. Deal with it. Oh, you know what? This oddly reminds me that I still haven't made use of the tower key that I bought near the end of last session. So I'm going to have to get to that in a bit. I don't remember how angry these guys are. Looks like I can go past them, mostly, if I don't tick them off. We've got a pair of these kind of dark wraiths up here. If we try to run, like, up through them too quickly, it's going to be tough. And then what was over here? I think this has a Titanite Demon. It's got a bonfire for one. Okay, I'm forgetting something about the layout here. Okay, that's what I remember being over here. These guys drop Twinkling Titanite. And he is in front of the Great Magic Weapon spell, which is quite nice. And now we can open that with a shortcut back to the first area. Oh, well, if you're awake, might as well give you a try. These guys are pretty tough, though. That their crystal magic. I think their tail's a bit vulnerable. Ow. Yeah, I was waiting for him to do that roll thing. They love doing that roll thing. Ow. Twice. Ooh. There we go. 2 Titanite scales. Those are required to upgrade some of our Big Daddy weapons. Big crazy stuff. I didn't remember there being a bonfire back here, because, like, what's the point? Oh, you know what? Actually, I've seen some duels over at this location. Lord of Cinder ahead, and then Skeleton ahead. Yeah, there's the Lord of Cinder through here, and it's followed up by the Catacombs, so it's quite apt. Guys pretty quickly. Excuse you. Black bug pellets, don't really need those. Just gonna sneak on past you guys and open this door, okay? Yeah, seems like they're fine with it. And in here, we have a fight with the Pharaoh's Legion. This is a reasonably tough boss fight. It can turn into something messy in its first phase. Its third phase is very flashy, but honestly, you can beat it just through basic patience. And just kind of continual patience. Which is maybe a little annoying when you get down to it, but that's the way it is. Yeah, the Pharyn Legion is very kind of Bloodborne reminiscent. And interestingly, it is a collective group that, when unified, serves as a Lord of Cinder. So this is a group of people who once linked the fire together. Now, in the first phase, they can be backstabbed. You also don't fight a singular Lord of Cinder. They are a crew. Yeah. The one who stands up with the red eyes is on your side at any given time. So, if you actually get two of them on you, it can be a bit messy for a bit. Given the amount of damage I was doing to the boss, I can just work on this as my primary goal right now. It's much less annoying as a boss than the Crystalline Sage can be. And I think that so long as I take this route along the right, I can actually skip through almost every enemy that would aggro onto me for this. We've got a very nice, clean boss run. Yep. Yep. The Abyss Watchers are also styled after Artorias of the Abyss. And they kind of served a similar purpose. It's understood. They're also parryable on certain attacks, and I could try doing that, but I believe their like dashing thrust is not parryable, and that's kind of the most dangerous thing they do in the first phase. Their double horizontal cut in the mid combo is also not parryable, I don't think. Funnily enough, some of the things that are parryable mostly are like the dagger attacks that they kind of open up with. So it's like parryable technically. But you're kind of a mad lad to go for it. Okay, I'm gonna wait until I have my red-eyed buddy before I do too much of this. Your red-eyed buddy is also not like super strictly on your side. It's more of a suggestion. Yeah, you can accidentally be hit by his attacks, he can take your attacks. That gets us through the first phase. Then he gets, and from the second phase, it's a one-on-one against the singular, angry, fiery boy. Who is also still backstabbable. Yeah, that floor dash with the flame burst is absolutely his most dangerous setup. that's mostly the attack you want to wait for and punish. And that's the Abyss Watchers. It's a fight that's initially very impressive and confusing and difficult, but like once you know the formula for the fight, it's actually kind of disappointing. So the SL1 of the fight kind of ruins the magic. Alright, we're going to travel back so that we can convert all of this stuff into Titanite and get a few more weapons upgraded. Possibly. I'm at least going to dump things into Titanite. We also have a new conversation, I think, or a couple.
I just dropped in now. This cesspool couldn't be better. This play couldn't.
I think our little lass is hanging out over in this corner over here.
Oh, champion, I was not meant to be the god. I am you.
Yeah, she technically has a unique ring that we'll go ahead and buy.
You know, I would be although but if I terribly sorry. But you have a plus I pray.
Now, she is blind, and that actually factors in. You can make her into a full-fledged Firekeeper, if I remember correctly.
I wish for trusting as promised, but for carefully.
Yeah, he'll hand us a Pyromancy Flame. He sells Pyromancer type gear.
Yes. If you the lands the whole, at least the place is called Isolate. Well,
Yeah.
Do not pick
Each of the vendors has a different item that you can hand them in order to learn more things. This fellow over here will actually get cross with us if we don't bring him anything.
I don't mean in exchange from in the form of scroll. I hope you'll come again.
Yeah, if you don't bring him some scrolls, he'll get ticked off and try to kill you later.
Ah.
About 20 of that should suffice. We'll also buy her out on the limited resins she has to offer. The charcoal pine that she offers is not limited. We have better access to that than other things. Let's see. I want to make sure I bought a torch. And the life ring's not a bad idea.
Ashen one.
We can actually go ahead and equip the life ring. We have an open slot. And, I mean, most of the other stuff we have is, like, bleed resist or spell casting. It's not going to get us very far.
Just wasn't he?
Let's see. We can go ahead and take the reinforced club up to +3 without worrying too much, because we have pretty good access to regular Titanite. I don't necessarily want to bridge that into using large Titanite for a while. Of course, I don't have any large Titanite, so it doesn't matter. I am going to go into the tower while I'm here, and I need to tell Hawkwood.
You offed the Lords of Cinder, the Undead Legion. So that's how they're done. I pity the sorry souls. Is that... for helping them. I pity.
So him having the Pharyn ring all along is kind of the indication that that this is that was his calling earlier in life. That was his thing. I believe this one. Yep, the Watchers of the Abyss with their amassed swords. We can set their cinders up on here on this altar, and that is a step towards completion of our ultimate goal. I don't remember what the ring does. Okay. It makes special moves cheaper, which is a thing I haven't really been bringing up, but it's a unique Dark Souls 3 thing. Every weapon has a unique move that's listed. Straight Sword, Standard, Stance is the unique move there. And the FP cost is basically how much mana it requires to do that. Many swords have Stance. Katana, the Uchi Katana has Hold, which is like an EI strike type of thing. We've got Sharpen and Warcry, which are both buffs on some of these. Some of the two-handed weapons have distinct special attacks. Yeah, some of the boss weapons have really fancy stuff, generally speaking. I believe the Abyss Watcher boss weapon gives you the good old Artorias leaping slam attack. Oh, it's not open from the side. This is the wrong spot. I think it's on the other side of this that I'm actually able to open up that tower. Hey guys, excuse me. They will get angry with me if I walk past them. So we'll just kill them and move along. Yes, that's right. I need to go back inside and leave out the back of the shrine to get to where I'm thinking of. But there's a few more items to pick up. Several of which I picked up at the beginning of the game with a sequence break. Is it through here? No. Higher up. Ah, and we've got this customer hanging out now.
And fast on the trail of the lords absconded. Then these read, use them to pillage embers. What else are
And he kind of goads us to get after PvP. He's a member of the PvP-oriented Covenant for this game. I'm not remembering something about how to get up to where I wanted to be. That's right, it's up over this way? Yeah, here we go. Yet to fall. So we open this up, it gets us up in this tower. You can fall down from the tower onto the rooftop. That's kind of the vanilla means of accessing the rooftop. We can come over here. I think if you're very good at it, you can kind of hop down on these ends and get some items. I might be doing that shortly, but I'm going to take this up first. There we go. And a Firekeeper Soul. I can't remember what we do with the Firekeeper Soul in this game. Yeah, it is considered a key item. A Firekeeper who returned from the Abyss. So I think what we do with this is we hand this off to the young maiden that we have rescued and brought into our service. And I think with this, she comes closer to being a Firekeeper herself. The Estus Ring, I believe that ring makes Estus count for more. Which is not important for us because we don't have enough health for that to be important. But yes, with the Firekeeper's Soul in tow, I want to hand that off. And I also want to buy a lot of throwing knives, because I'm going to need that shit. I think we hand this off to her.
Oh, champion, do you wish to hear it? You know, I would, although, but if I had it, terribly sorry. You know, but if I, terribly.
Okay.
Have a pleasant, I pray for your...
Nothing with that just yet. I will talk to the existing Firekeeper. Might be something for her. It's been a really long time. I don't remember if throwing knives are sold by you or if I have to go to Grey Rat for them. Let's go check with Grey
Ashen
Rat.
one.
They are nice and cheap.
Ah, you know I'm well. Everyone's. I might as well. Well, thank you. Great until I ended.
So sending him to pillage will expand his inventory. So we're going to get to work on that. Buy a number of those. And before he leaves, I should consider very carefully if I want to buy anything. Because after leaving, it takes a while for him to come back. We're good on the rest.
Do stay safe.
So he will continue to offer to pillage as we advance further in the game.
Oh, this. And I never. I thank you.
Yeah, draw out true strength is the option we can do that gives us free level ups.
As I have, alas, but I can. Emily, we pillar those, Brad. Be safe.
Yeah, we will leave you be. But yeah, you can get 5 free level ups out of that guy. You need to die in between them to kind of progress that.
I pity that.
But it's pretty handy if you care about leveling up. Right, I wanted to talk to you.
Welcome home, speak then. Ashen, much like, then let it find its. She will understand.
The Firekeeper is now able to
Forgive
heal
me,
the Dark
Maid of
Sigil.
Flame.
That's right. You acquired Dark Sigil by interacting with Yoel of Londor and doing all that
Farewell,
other
Maid of
stuff. And it causes you, cosmetically, to look more undead. You can go back to her with the Firekeeper soul and go back to not looking undead. That's right. Okay, I'm just going to keep moving on from the Abyss Watchers so I can get more stuff. Although I do think that the Cathedral... Yeah, because going through here will take me to Irithyll and Anor Londo. Which is neat, and it's something that has to be done. I want to get there. But also, I need to go kind of back the other way. The Catacombs of Karthus. Yeah, I better make sure I'm using a blunt weapon, because Dark Souls does care about that. Karthus Rouge is a very nice consumable. It causes us to do extra bleed damage. These guys, if I recall, are quite threatening. Whoops. Especially when that happens. Yeah, bummer that. Let's see. I need to think very carefully about how powerful I care about making my character before I start making attempts on the Dancer. I actually think that what I want to do on that is get to the Cathedral and get the special items there, and then start making Dancer attempts once I have my rings. So we're going to go back to the Crucifixion Woods and work more on that Spellcaster now that we have throwing knives. Yep, throwing knives at the ready. Here we go. I'm trying to remember the way everything is lined up. I know that the catacombs connect to, I think, a couple places, but importantly, I believe they lead to Irithyll. And at the top of Irithyll is Anor Londo. I don't remember how you get to the profaned capital. Or is Irithyll after the cathedral? Might be. I might have some of the progression mixed up. I know that the what's it called? The catacombs are decently tough for SL1 because there's a lot of clusters of enemies and they're very fast. But at the end, the boss is Wolnir, and he's more of a gimmick boss, so he's not a difficult boss to kill. There we go. That's what I need to happen. Alright, that bleed proc got him really close. Blue. There's the purple one. Got him. Alright, that was a good fight. It was a little messy to start with. I still had to heal, but ultimately we just, clubbed him to death. That's what you do for that guy. He's allergic to nails. Alright, I'm trying to remember if there was like a trick or a secret on behind this arena. Let's see. Was it over here or... Okay, well... Some guys hanging out. We've got that bridge over there. So if there was a secret back at that arena, it was back around the other way. So I'm going to head back there for a moment. Okay, so let's see. I guess that makes just 2 bosses beaten this sitting so far. Like Dark Souls 1... Okay, no, there's nothing up here. Yeah, Dark Souls 1 bosses are pretty dense, so like... When we were doing the Dark Souls 1 SL1, we would kill like 5 bosses in a sitting, no problemo. I think there's a lot more focus on kind of zones and regions in Dark Souls 3. And we can only skip so much of them because we do need to gather like upgrade materials and such. Move on. I want whatever's behind you. Not that important. Ow. Barely hit me. Oh, you couldn't have stepped in that fire? I think coming up pretty soon there's like a PvP-esque fight, but I get a bonfire here. Dark Souls 3 in particular, especially in the earlier part of the game, you get a lot of early bonfires. Like, they are really close together when you're starting up. I can't remember if this leads anywhere in particular. No, it's just little loop. Whoa! Did I just walk off? No, I didn't. I was not about to walk off of something. This is just back up over here. Crest shield, neat. Yeah, the jump attack is a really good idea here. Ow. Ow. I was hoping I would just get a bleed proc and that could be it for him. Nah. Yeah, I thought I remembered there being some PvP fights here. Some PvP style fights. Like intelligent hollows, I suppose is what you would call it. Yeah, and they don't seem to care very much about bleeding. Got an item down here, guarded by another toughie. There we go. That their thrust is that's the stance option that is available to me. If you run out of FP, the kind of mana-oriented resource, I believe you can still use these attacks. They're either slower or weaker or both. I can't recall. Off to the left of here. What does this get us? Is it just a nice place to look at? Yeah. Gorgeous view. Yeah. It's, the high walls of Lothric and all that stuff. I think over there is the Undead Village? No, the Pharyn Swamp takes up a lot of space. There's that guy up there that we just fought, but there was another one, right? Or did the one we just kill... Yeah, he's the one that woke up previously. Okay. You have to be aware of how many attacks you're allowed on these guys before they stop staggering. Otherwise you can get hit by like a quick retaliation and take a lot of damage. That's right. I forgot the weapons that have a war cry have like a second ability that's locked behind the Warcry, so that after you get into the Warcry buff, you can use again to get at those. So this section is made tricky by like a mix of dogs and crossbowmen. So we want to carefully take out the crossbowmen that we can, and then go after the dogs when we get a reprieve. You just want to use the cover well to make sure you're not getting shot at the entire time you're here. And the dogs will kind of get antsy and come down after you. Yeah, our attack coming out of a roll with the broadsword is a horizontal chop. It's quite nice. I feel like there are more guys around here, but I don't remember where. No, that's right. These are just suicide bombers. That's the thing that's going on here. There's a few of those suicide bomber types around. But I believe I'm not allowed through the front door yet, and I will have to go deal with them. Never mind, I'm totally allowed through this front door. Just like not the super special front doors on the side here. So here we have our first encounter
Merciful goddess,
with a very important character.
Forlorn, who have no place to call their own. Please bear witness to our resolve.
Which is why there's some messages hanging out by him.
For Ariandel. Fire for Ariandel. And the ash to kindle flame. Wait. You've the same scent as that woman. Then you must be... Oh, you don't... Oh. Now, Ash, my lady lives in the cold land of... I need you to ship a proper flame if you truly...
I will accept.
Ah, thank you. They of Ash never fail. Just a moment, then. The painting of Ariandel. Well, rotted scrap of it, that is. Go on. Take it. Touch it.
This is about as vaguely sinister as it sounds, in terms of, you know, things that maybe you shouldn't do. So, similar to the painted world of Ariamis from Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3 features the painted world of Ariandel. And this is actually a...
The ashes were too.
This is actually a DLC location as well. One that's not originally available in Dark Souls 3. Now, we are able to exit this painting, which we're going to do pretty shortly, because it's a DLC area full of all sorts of tough boys. Hello there.
Have you just arrived? How very unusual. Just how long has it been? Rejoice, my new friend. For this is a true haven of the forlorn, the cold and gentle painted world of Ariandel. Quick, go a sweetly rotting bed to lie up. You're no, but you're safe. Ariandel will miss. So, as sweetly...
So Ariandel and Ariamis both are cold environments. And there is kind of a motif going on there about cold opposing or limiting flame, returning the world to gray, and that kind of thing, which is kind of allegorical within the game for giving up. Did I talk to him before lighting the bonfire? Oh my god. This is going to be at the base of those stairs. I'm going to have to fight those guys again. Shoot. I should have lit that bonfire first. Alright, okay. That guy doesn't spawn anymore. I'm fairly sure. I think neither of these enemies continue to spawn. Oh, and we've actually got a drop here that we forgot to pick up. So we get the spider shield. It's mostly just that I have to go through the dogs and crossbowmen again. Well, in theory. In practice, I'm just going to be a sneaky boy And here we are. No big deal. No, you will not. Despite setting themselves on fire, that enemy was pretty vulnerable to fire. I don't think I would do that much damage to her with a normal attack. So Gale is now gone from here. Go ahead and light this. So this we can't open, and the other one over there we can't open. The cathedral is a fairly large area, and we're going to keep looping back through here a bit. Notched whip. It's actually a fairly interesting weapon. Let's see. Okay, nobody's fallen in the well yet. I had to check on that. Oh man, there was like a strike of thunder outside right as I backstabbed that guy. So that was pretty wild. Don't even think about it. So we get an all-important Estus shard there. And coming up soon, we're going to be dealing with some very, very loud enemies. So, sorry for that. And we actually want to make sure we have the torch at the ready. We've got some fire-hating, noisy punks in some of these areas. Now, that's not the first thing we're going to be dealing with. First thing we're going to be dealing with is the run through this area. These guys will just get back up if you drop them, largely. So we're mostly not going to worry about that. We've got the Astora Greatsword. We've got this dude vomiting maggots. Super gross. Actually, I think almost all of these guys vomit maggots if I give them the time of day. I'm gonna check around here. I think I've left something behind up around here. I'm gonna keep looking for it for a moment. More than just being slightly vulnerable, the enemies around here are, like, deathly allergic to fire. Like, making sure I got all the permutations of this pathway. So these guys are, like, completely maggot-ridden weird things. Their attacks cover you in leeches. It's awful. But so long as you hit them with a fire source, they kind of stagger and become useless. And they also take pretty extraordinary amounts of damage from that. And that can even be, like, the basic torch. Can fill that purpose, which is why I'm carrying around a basic torch. I'm gonna have to go back along the bottom a bit later. Oh yeah, and even the, like, maggot-ridden guys will respawn. I think. Either that or a new one just crossed the bridge. But yeah, you hit them with fire and they will be fully distraught, and you can just kind of do what you want afterwards. There are a few enemies, that one over there, that are actually threatening in this location. This gal doesn't play around. Thankfully, fire weapons are pretty good. I think the lights... Did the lights just flicker, or was that just me? Okay, so if my stream goes down suddenly, it is definitely because I lost power and or internet. Pull out a torch for a moment to remove the maggots from us. Or leeches or whatever. I believe they're leeches because they cause the bleeding effect. If you let them stay on you for too long, they'll just make your bleed tick up until you die. From bleed procs. So this area is being shot by the same giant from earlier, from the same tower. And the white birch here is, responsible for his interference. So once he's active, we can just kind of amble around here, and it's not very dangerous. Just so long as we aren't covered in maggots. But yes, anytime we get hit by any of their attacks, we need to switch out to a torch momentarily to disengage those fire-hating leeches. I'm just going to keep using maggots and leeches interchangeably, and I hope it annoys somebody. I believe I need to kick down a ladder here, and that'll open a shortcut for me to get over here later. I also kind of want to check down here to see if I'm forgetting about something. I think I might be. Yeah, so this is a low route you can come down through here that has more like horrible squelchy leech monsters. Yeah, there are a couple other things of merit around here, or of note. Yeah, this is the audio warning I had before. You can see I'm kind of covered in the filthy little things, and they go away. So by and large, I just want to avoid all that stuff if I can. Let's see, over here, I think this is a resistance ring. Nope, Titanite shard. I think this is another entrance onto where we were. Yeah, this is just the same cathedral. So over here we have another big old Titanite lizard. We're going to go after the smaller Titanite lizard hanging out here. Some twinkling Titanite. Back over this way. There are a lot of nooks and crannies here and in several other areas. Like, Bloodborne matches this for complexity, more or less, but it's a bit unlike other titles in the Dark Souls series in terms of just how much like little stuff there is. And I mean, it's the factor of time. They'd been designing these longer when this came out. Okay, I think I'm going to try and take out this guy. I'm going to see if I can remember if there's anything important behind him before I go into this fight. I think this was actually meaningful, like a cool shortcut or something. Take that out. Poison bite ring. This is actually handy. Time for sadness. It's a dead end. It just exists to have that enemy in that ring. We caused a stun, so we can get a critical effect. And that'll finish off the creature. Alright. So with that polished off, what else am I looking for? It looked like there's an item up there. Can I get there from here? Duh, I don't think so. And did I already look inside of there? I don't think I can get inside of there. I can hop down from here. Suppose that's what I'll do. Yeah, this is just the entryway though. And we already know we can't get through there. So I gotta run back. There are basically very few legitimately threatening things through here. Once you're aware of the countermeasure, the area becomes trivial. If you don't know that everything here like falls over pitifully before fire damage, then you can have some serious trouble navigating this area. Okay. I don't think I can actually just open this. Yep. Yeah. So along the right here is a bit of an extended run with a lot of guys. And this stuff they're throwing at me prevents me from using healing items. It's not immediately important, given that they just kind of mug me. But it's meant to kind of prevent you from taking it easy through this section. Alright, let's see. We don't need to anger this group this time, and I'm actually going to take the low route now that I've opened a shortcut. This is where I kicked down that ladder earlier, and this saves me a good bit of running and some fights. I still have to fight the double sword wielder if I move through this area noisily. So I'm just going to let her go. And as long as I don't go into sprint too soon, she won't hear me. Alright, so back over to this segment. I think there's some amount of this I can actually just blitz. So we won't necessarily be resorting to that just yet. Ow. That's a suicide attack. Give that a bit of birth as much as we can. Backstab on him. Alright, and we need to move down here. And I believe we can move back through here. There's a guy. Alright, trying to remember everything I have to do here. There's a couple segments around here where some dudes will fall on you. You can trigger them early with throwing knives. Ow. Okay, he moved down. I'm not certain if that is an area that I can still access. Yeah, there's a little bridge here. So I'm just getting killed. There's another way a little bit later that I can wrap around kind of behind him, if I don't score the kill earlier. Okay, let's see. Up here. Gonna kill this guy before somebody else alerts him. Got him with the dead angle. Got these guys that will come over here. We've got this guy hanging up here. I don't know what the heck hit me when I took that two. It was probably those two archers got me. Shoot. Yeah, this whole segment is a pretty long run, and avoiding all of the enemies along the course of the run is just difficult. I would say that this is the easier area to progress, as opposed to the catacombs, however. The catacombs can be pretty tricky. Most importantly, the reason why I'm progressing this route right now is that I would like to get into the cathedral to access the Lois rings. There is a defensive Lois ring, Lois shield ring, and the Lois sword ring. Each of these rings give us a pretty notable benefit when our health is full. The shield ring gives us 20% damage resistance, and the sword ring gives us a damage boost. I can't recall if it's a full 20% or if it's more like 10 or 15. Either way, given that our health bar is small and we can't really survive 2 hits from almost anything, we want to keep our health bar full most of the time. the shield ring actually turns a lot of attacks that would one-shot us into attacks that don't one-shot us. I'm going to see if I can blitz this time. There is a bit of activation time for a lot of the enemies, so we have to make sure we don't cross directly underneath any of the guys with any of the guys who are hanging above. They will kind of mess us up super fast. There's one right there. Okay, I didn't actually need to go out this far, I don't think, but here gives us the benefit of taking out some of these guys who serve as ambushers. My bad. There we go. Thank you for taking the time to make sure I wasn't healing. You don't have to worry. I think there was something inside here. I did vaguely remember that there was an ambush in there, but not that he was right inside the door. I was able to rush up to that spot pretty reliably, though, so I'm going to do that again, as well as taking out those ambushers the same way. I was concerned that the crossbowmen would be more of an obstacle to doing this. The last staircase that I stopped at, there's another kind of dual-wielding witchy character up over there. No idea what the official name for that would be. But I wanted to make sure I had done everything I felt... wanted to sure I had made my peace with the area preceding before I tried to fight her. They can very easily be the end of me. Okay, here we go. Excuse me. Ow. Dang it. Got him. Okay. Knack. Okay, this time the crossbowmen are giving me a bit more trouble. Okay, this is where I wanted to hop down to. Or a 1. And a 2. And a 3. He's looking the correct direction this time. Oh, he just completely one-shot me. Well, I had a little bit of health missing. He swings pretty hard. I thought I might stagger him, but didn't happen. Blah. Alright. Alright. So there is definitely an item inside of that little halfway point, but I don't believe it's important. And I'm not in the mood to get a hatchet-wielding midget in my face. So I will press forward. I? Let's bring it all together. Or at least most of it together, because I know I'm missing like 2 or 3 forks of things when I take this routing. Like there's an item down there that I'm not grabbing. There's also a fellow waiting to ambush me for trying to grab it. Is the other one from above gonna jump down on me for this? Is he just gonna look at me? Seems he's content to watch. Yeah. That guy wanted to turn up though. Shit. Actually go for this item in here. There we go. There's another one up here. And this guy here. Who hit me with like the flat end of that sword. Dodge attacks, go! It wasn't important at all. That's fine. So over there we have a very angry lady. I don't think she's actually avoidable. Nope. Definitely not. There are 2 of them. That's right, that's right. That's why this was hard. Got him! Woo! Okay, I think that the bonfire I'm looking for is just a little bit away from here. Okay, he's already announced his intent to die. He's got a limited range after doing that, so we're just gonna let him do his thing. He will also kill his friend, because that effect has splash damage. I believe that just a little bit further, I'm able to activate a shortcut or open a thing. I think it's this. Oh, whoa. Don't you dare! That item over there I think is actually something significant. It might be a ring. But there's a big old gaggle of dudes, who I will address shortly. Okay, so we get up here, and now we are, like, properly inside the cathedral, and it is full of gunk and, like, a shackled giant. We need to check out along this. The various enemies here are still very vulnerable to fire. We need to watch out because a couple of the places around here have ooze that can drop from overhead. Be wary of right. Right, these guys cast spells. Not very threatening. Deacon skirts. Okay, I think this is the shortcut that will take me back to like another door I can open and get back to the bonfire. Maybe. Where the heck was this? Okay, I think this leads back. Does this lead? Yeah, here we go. So we'll replenish our Estus, and it's back into the fray. We're gonna head back along this way first, because that one gaggle of goons I do want to take out. So that should be back over this way. This hallway doesn't have any falling ooze, so I just have to worry about the one just sitting here on the floor. No. Oh, they chose yes instead. I'm going to respect their decision. Okay, so over here, I'm going to ignore these guys to grab the item, and then we'll just leave. Ambush ahead. Yeah, I wonder. Hey there, buddy. Ow. I got caught on his character model on that roll, and that did not go well for me. There was less pressure over there than I expected either way. Not that big a deal. Alright, moving on. We're just running back over to the elevator. And we will be on our way. So my thought overall is, after I get the rings, I might want to think about trying to fight the Dancer. I might take out Deacons afterwards as well, but the only thing that's going to better prep me to fight the Dancer between now and then is, like, better Titanite. So I'll probably find what I can, and then I'm going to start making attempts on her. Okay, so I can go through there if I want. I've got this area out over here. Right. Got this guy. I don't remember, like, the rules for avoiding him necessarily, other than, like, do it well. But I think this is what I wanted. Yep. This is one of our very important items. As far as the giant goes, we generally do want to kind of get down to the muck and then whack at his feet until he falls over. And we'll get around to that in a little bit. So yeah, boost attacks when HP is full. It does not tell you explicitly, like, how much. Yeah, so it's going from 262 attack power to 289 attack power. It's pretty big. There's a little buff, like a sword with a golden arrow in the top left, that'll appear so long as our health remains full. I think I might want to send this elevator back down. So let's see, going from like 260 to 280 is like... That's less than 20%, because 20% would be at least 40 attack buff. I think 55 attack would be 20% of those numbers. I'm gonna head down here. I'm trying to remember all the different angles around here and what I have to do and where I have to go. There's a lot. Okay, we've got one of these gals here. I have a bad track record with fighting these. That is a grapple for massive damage. I, like, got stuck there. I was very worried that would just matter-of-factly murder me. We get a deep gem. I think I might get a backstab out of that. Yeah. option for her. Their book smash attack is pretty quick. Okay. So we got a deep gem for our trouble over there. I think largely, we don't have any options here until we just get past the giant. It's just the way this place is. But I think we might have some other options other than that. You know, there's not actually anywhere to go here. It's just like, hey, look, boxes, you can smash them. That's right, he will try and snatch us out of there. Hip. I got a thing for my trouble. Okay, I think I'm loosely allowed to hang out over here until he tries to grab me. Got a little smashed there. Oh! I was like a hair's breadth from getting out. Oh, jeez. Okay, I think I was able to get a slightly better grasp of his slam timing. I'm probably going to have to run this section either while looking at the giant, or I'm just going to have to be very careful about audio cues. Now, I don't think there's a way to get down and kill the giant before completing this section. There might be a way if you have a specific gear set or more HP or something. Now, one thing I'm going to do out of sheer kindness to myself is I'm going to run this segment embered for the extra HP. This should give just a modicum of extra insulation against the giant's effects. I think it actually takes him a while to pivot, and we might be able to avoid him just by running fast. Oh man, look what worked. Awesome. Okay, so we got some pilgrim-looking dudes. We've got this upper area. Down there, I think, is a mimic with an important item. I vaguely remember there being a mimic with an important item somewhere around here. Hey there, buddy. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 does not have a monopoly on ambushes. It's just really nasty. We've also got a one of these homeboys hanging out over top of that. Seek guidance. It's a little ominous when it's hanging out there. Okay, up through here, I think we've got another one of those Deep Priestess caster gals hanging out somewhere. It is distressing in a somewhat predictable way that Aldrich is like a religious figure. A religious figure who transformed into a giant all-consuming ooze monster. Can I please move? Thank you. There we go. Okay, this just puts me back up here. Could you get out of the way? Thank you all very much. She just flattened that other guy. Okay, here's the important mimic I was thinking about. And she just clubbed us into next week. So I didn't find the bonfire after the giant, but I found that I can reliably get past the giant by just running. So we just run it. That's fine. No need for embers. Yeah, embering gives you 30% more maximum health, which for us at SL1 is like it's kind of cool. It's something. But one of the developers of the game actually said something about that was kind of fun. He said, if you need 30% more health, you don't deserve it. I super love that. And he's completely correct. It's a superfluous buff. You don't need it at any point in time. So if you're like obsessed with having that in order to complete an area, or you feel that that's necessary, you are being greedy. What killed me? I got shot by the friggin' crossbow guy. Okay, and also apparently just running is not enough to get past the giant. Go figure. He was just being kind of laggy last time. Friggin', I didn't see the bolt at all. Kind of some other things going on at the moment. Finish this off? No, I have more water. There we go. Gotta keep proper hydrated. Go. I timed it just wrong. That time the archer didn't hit me though. That time the giant just hit me twice. So yeah, I just need to keep an eye on the giant and have the timing ready for his sweep versus his slam. The slam's notably faster relative to his audio cue. And the slam, I believe, you'll also do twice. But if it knocks you down, you'll be in iframes from getting up before the second slam comes in. The fact that the crossbow bolts was hitting me earlier despite me being down was pretty rude. There we go. Okay, so, this being a mimic, focus a little bit to make sure nothing's following me. But, just need to get an Undead Hunter Charm equipped. Should put him right to sleep. And I can loot him for the Deep Braille Divine Tome. Divine Tome was written in Braille, as mentioned by our miracle vendor back at town. Is this the room where the big horrible thing comes in? Is that another one? I felt like this room had a big, huge guy. There he is. Can I just not let you do that, please? He got it off anyway. And it did not help him. Fire damage is super effective, man. It's so good. I think this is the room with the big nasty boy. Yeah, we're gonna let that be for now, because I'd like to find a closer in bonfire before dealing with that opponent. Okay, there was a bonfire somewhere around here, I'm sure. Nope. So these statues spray corrosive gunk at you, which will break your equipment if you hang out too long next to them. It's just a thing. The Thrall hood is pretty funny. It's pretty good meme gear. Like, all right. We've got another giant over there. Who we probably want to take out. He can get angry and make this tricky. I think there was like a shortcut through a lot of this stuff that I'm forgetting about. go. There's another shortcut door. I believe this lets us get back over to the other door in the first area. Okay, there's an elevator. What's that elevator go to? Yeah, this lets us get back to the very first bonfire, and this elevator is for something else. But I don't remember what. Yes, the elevator is what lets us get behind this entire path from earlier. With the tons of dudes. And I think there's maybe something to be found up here. Okay, here's the thing. Huh, it's a trap. You don't say. Yeah, jumping down there, you'll have to go back through a big, long sequence of stuff, so we're not going to do that. The deep ring, I believe, is a potent casting ring. So, doesn't suit our needs, but it's kind of neat. I'm trying to remember what it does. Yep, attune more spells. Same as the Saint's Ring. Very, very handy for caster builds, initially. Over time, on a caster build, you do want to build up a lot of attunement. So I believe it allows you to cast spells faster, but I might be thinking of the Dark Souls 2 mechanic. Okay, so coming back over to this area, or on this side, we've got one of the tougher guys. I think we need to pull this. Yeah. Yeah, we can still walk through here, but now we've got a big old bridge. I do not want to fight this guy as well as the two guys behind him at the same time. I know that the correct direction to go is up forward past that guy. Check out the other areas around here. While embered, you can get a unique encounter around here, an invader. Kirk of Thorns. Just like in previous Dark Souls games, he gives you the Thorns armor that causes you to inflict damage while rolling. It can be pretty annoying to deal with. Okay, I think that to get up through here, our best method is to, like, jump along the edges. Yeah, because he's going to wake up and make it really hard to do. I'm really trying to remember how you're supposed to get through all that without just flinging stuff at him until he doesn't want to live anymore. Because if you go into the muck with him, you can do that to an extent, but these ooze critters can make it a little hard. If I remember right. Okay. I want to take that guy out. Get them out here instead of that corridor. Ah! He shot a dart at me. Ow. Okay, now I can have a proper one-on-one. Well, loosely proper. I'm not going to be fair, but go. Dealt with him. Okay, and now I can move along this right side. Okay. Yeah, that guy with the crossbow is still trying to get me. The giant has a really hard time hitting me down here. And that's it for the giant, and he won't respawn. This frees us up to grab a couple of items down here. Just have to be vaguely aware of this crossbowman, because this muck slows us down tremendously. And I believe I should also be able to open up that door. Now, casually, that door leads to a spear that's quite good for faith builds. In SL1, I don't think it's important at all. But it might give us another route. I don't quite remember. Ooh, a large Titanite shard. Dark Souls 3 drops and provides upgrade pieces more often, but requires that you use more of them in order to actually upgrade things. So we open this up and head down here. Open this up as well. Got the Saint Bident. Some Homeward Bones. I don't recall if there's actually anything over here. Nope. Just those things. Okay. So in terms of killing the giant, I would like to replicate the feat on the other giant that is over here. Just need to watch out for the ooze critters to make sure they don't mess me up. And I just have to walk through all this muck, which is just time-consuming and annoying. Slurp, slurp, slurp. Okay, here we go. I got stepped on. Yeah, those ooze critters will are a dangerous distraction, really, and it takes forever to get them all out of there as well. But it's very difficult to loot this area without dealing with those things. Well, dealing with those things and mostly dealing with the giant, because he will step on you. Let's see, I shouldn't have to kill too many things. No, this isn't where I wanted to go. Excuse me. I don't actually need to take the elevator, I just need to walk around the corner. Here we go. This should be correct. stomping around. I think that should be the only thing I have to fight before getting back to this segment. Okay, so let's see. This time, I think I want to try to just make the stairs. Well, he stepped on that maggot beast for us. That's pretty nice. Cool. We should be out of his reach now. Okay, yeah. I think there is a bonfire behind this. No, there's the boss. Bonfire on the other side. That looks like it could be illusory, but it's not. Okay, and we just fell down again. Okay, here we go. The Deacons of the Deep, the next boss, is a really fun fight, and it's not too difficult, but we are a weak little Wimblebimble, so I am trying to make sure I have all the necessary shortcuts available. Yeah, they're calling out pointless, but this is like right next to the first bonfire from the area, so it's anything but. It's a very nice shortcut.
Well, you look reasonably sane. I am a knight of Katarina. I've managed to hit right to...
So yeah, this individual, naturally, is not Sigurd, but is definitely wearing Sigurd's armor, which you can wonder about. He shows up here only if this part has been raised, and it's pretty obvious what's going to happen here.
Shame on you, you greedy guts. Thought you could outwit an onion. Well, say hello to the nice giant. He adores visitors.
So we've run into patches. Dark Souls 3 patches. And yeah, this is just going to go down. There's not too much we can do about it going down at this point. We are going to send these back up by reactivating these things, because we do want to go across that route when we're able. So there's that one there, and this one over here. And after we've re-engaged these, I now have some questing business to attend to in terms of talking to some NPCs. So I don't recall if we can already run into patches back at the shrine, but that's where I'm going to go and check in for. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Hawkwood is gone. That's a good note. Let's see. Patches, when he hangs out, I think is somewhere around the upper area. I don't quite remember. I'm going to check in with Grey Rat about his latest wares. So you can prevent patches from using a switch and throwing you down there just by, you know, getting through a dialogue with him, or well, by killing him, really.
Oh, hello. Go on.
Yes, he's made a score. Let's see. He's got a Divine Blessing, Lightning Urn, Bandit's Knife. I would love to be able to use the Bandit's Knife. Yeah, he's got a bigger repository of equipment and a few interesting things. I believe the target shield or the buckler is one of the best parrying shields in the game.
You can as goodbye.
Not much else to get into. Okay. Oh, I should hand over that Deep Braille Tome. I think she actually remarks that it's like vaguely evil, and she doesn't want to read it. And we're not going to force her if that's the case. Just want to show off the dialogue.
Do you wish to? Oh, Champion of Ash, this to these are dark tales of things that lurk. Of course, only the little creatures that nibble at. Have a pleasant I pray.
We've still given it to her. I don't recall if the trigger changes by virtue of us buying any deep miracles from her, or if it's actually important at all. I don't recall. Okay, so Hawkwood, notably, is gone. He is departed. And I believe somewhere around here, hanging out, we can now find his shield. Not because he's dead, but rather because he's hung it up. He's done being cowardly and hiding behind a shield. He wants to play the game for real. Let's see, is that around to the right-hand side? Maybe that triggers later. Ow. Now this should be it here. Hawkwood's shield. Huh, it's a champion. You can see that there is the great sword of one of the Pharyn Legion sitting here. Hawkwood gave up that weapon to go for a more ordinary go of it, so to speak. And now he's given up that shield as well. Find his own path, I suppose. Okay, so Patches isn't over here. I suppose perhaps he's just not around yet. I think I may need to interact with him one more time before he comes back here. Yep, that seems about right. But we need to interact with Patches to advance Sigurd's quest, because naturally Patches appears to have stolen Sigurd's armor. So we will travel back to the chapel. And we'll step outside the chapel. And we should have a... Got the well here.
Hello? Hello? Anyone there?
Yep, so Sigurd is stuck down a well.
It's... I know someone's... Did you... Oh, not an old...
So, we need to get that armor back from Patches to progress Sigurd. Let's see, the quickest way now should be the first shortcut, going down on the left, up the ladder, through the stairs, through the other door there. Yep. I believe Patches will relocate to Firelink Shrine after we have forgiven him for playing a prank on us. It's not like he put us in real danger, we just kind of walked away. So we head on up here, then over here. This did not finish rising. Great. So I may have done some things here prematurely then. Great. Just wanted that to be back up. Am I forgetting which raises which? Well, I can come back and do that later. There's not too much over there, but there is the head of the PvP Covenant. She also allows you to respec your character in this one. Let's see. Grab this. I think I actually will head down and raise that. I think there might be some other items over there. No, this is affecting that one. Well, I do want it to stay up. Oh, you know what? The lever for this one should be where Patches is, actually. Right? Because that's the other one I had risen up. Okay, well, I'll have to slip past this giant again. At least to get there quickly. I could get there safely, but slowly, by using a homeward bone back to the last bonfire and all that junk, but... I got stepped on, but I didn't die. So that's very nice. Dodge for days. There we go. One last little sip. I'm going to take that elevator back because I think I'm just being blind and not seeing a lever that raises that bridge back up. And Patches is gone, so I have forgotten the exact trigger for him to relocate. I don't recall the deadline to get Sigurd's armor back to him either. Okay. Is there no lever up here? I think it might be loosely possible to walk along one of these ledges or something as well. I am completely faltering on the layout of this. So, I believe there's an area over there, but to get to it we have to raise that bridge back up and get over there first. But I've forgotten how to raise back up that bridge. Huh. Alright. There's no way to get up over there that I'm aware of. Okay, well, we're gonna go fight the Deacons of the Deep. Yeah, the Deacons are a nice, fun, messy boss. It's especially great if you've got, like, big blasty fire magic or big AoE attacks. You do have to be going after the one shrouded in red to make meaningful progress. These other guys will just, like, keep getting up forever. But it is really fun to just rip through, like, big, like, crowds of guys for this boss. It's not an especially challenging boss, unless you give it a lot of spare time. Into Phase 2, they start doing this other important chant. If they finish this darkness chant and darken the room, it will cause your HP to start depleting until you die. Out of Estus. He's got them all praying. I got killed before I could kill him. Dang. We actually also got back an Estus charge from killing something really close to the end there. If I had noticed that, I would have backed out to try actually casting a bit. Yeah, I think fire damage is the best against them, but against that last, like, slew of priests, they've got a lot more health than the rest. Okay, so we want to be stepping outside through the front. Yeah, there's only one bonfire in the entire cathedral. It works, it's fine. You don't actually need more than one. Okay, I don't have two large Titanite.
Maybe
I don't have that yet. I want to go back to the Firelink Shrine one more time. I thought Patches would be back there and would offer to sell me the armor. And I do think I'm going up to the right spot. I believe he's up in this upper area. Yeah, still nothing. And I didn't see him across the way either. Alright. He'll probably show up once I've, like, cleared this area or something. So, who we got in the chat today? How you guys doing? I think I'm probably going to be taking a break from the stream now taking a break from streaming for Tuesday, and then Wednesday I'm planning to be back online for Outer Wilds. They put out a DLC that looks pretty cool. I didn't see too much about the DLC, but the game itself was pretty cool, so definitely want to roll on that. I've got Metroid Dread loaned out right now to a buddy of mine. But once he finishes up the game and I get it back, I'm definitely going to be playing more of that, trying to see how fast I can beat it. What's it called? It controls much more fluidly than other Metroid games. It's really giving me that yearning to try and see what I can do in terms of speed. Check over here one more flippin' time. I could have sworn there was a lever here somewhere. Just people remarking on patches. Okay, so we'll just head over here, take the elevator. Ugh. Yeah, it's both the neat thing and the tricky thing about the Deacons is that to, like, beat them, you do have to just wade into it. Which is pretty neat on SL1. You're not allowed to take it slow. Wait, see where the red thing goes. It's over here. I'm topping off very aggressively because I want to maintain use of the sword ring. Yeah. Yeah, the big ones can use the Force Miracle. This time we've got most of the forces were actually decently away from the central congregation when they first spawned in. That's pretty beneficial. Ow. Stop doing that. Chanting's making me nervous. Okay, now the whole arena's dark. I'm in trouble. Alright. Yeah, they started up my timer to kill the boss, because you'll have that curse tick up until you just outright die. And if you leave the central guy alone, he's gonna progress that. So as much as you might like to draw them away and prevent them from all, like, clumping and swarming, you don't have that option. ultimately you gotta dive in there and take out the guy in the blue robes. And just watch out for the fireballs swarming all around while you do. Let's see. Been going for about 3 hours. I think my plan is I want to take out Deacons and then call it a night for now. So if that takes another, like, 2 or 3 attempts, then fine. Let's see. I can unequip a couple of things. Not a lot, though. I still want to use the Grass Crest. Actually, no. I'm going to unequip the Grass Crest. So I've got 128, 128 with it on. Wait a second. Am I not getting power through the Flynn's Ring with this? 143.21 without it. And then with that equipped, it's not showing because it took a hand off it. 143.21. Okay, so it shows the same either way, which is not accurate to what the Flynn's Ring is actually doing. The tooltip for that functioned better in Dark Souls 2, where we actually got live updates based on what we equipped or unequipped of how much damage that was adding. I don't think the stamina regen is super helpful. Let's see, do we have like... I don't know. Oh, that's where it's showing us the full result, because this is just showing us the weapon itself. Here is where it's showing us right weapon attack power 294. With this equipped, and still in 2 hands, we're right weapon attack power 290. So we gain 4 attack power by removing that shield. Hey, whatever. It all counts. There is one important fight and item that I left behind so far. It's somewhat important because it's unique, but... I'm going to make a bit more effort to cull the herd in between meaningful hits. Come on. Back up. should be it. And that'll do. Small doll and the soul of the Deacons of the Deep. I don't remember what the small doll is for. That's right, we need the small doll before we can enter Irithyll. Actually light this bonfire. We take a moment to rest here. And then when we turn around, there's an extra drop from the Deacon. The Archdeacon set, which is actually quite handy. Okay, that's right. This area is a dead end in terms of exploration, but we require the doll in order to enter the location that's actually on the other side of the catacombs. So it's another case of the game being like kind of falsely presenting a direction split, but is actually linear. I'm going to go back to Firelink real quick, and I'm going to check for Patches, and if he's there, I'm going to complete the quest for Sigurd about getting his armor back. If Patches is not back there, then I'm going to go ahead and call it for tonight, and later on I'll have to look up the conditions for progressing this quest to make sure I'm not missing stuff. Okay, he's not here. Yep, don't see him. Alright. So I will have to get back to that later. This is going to conclude our Dark Souls 3 SL1 run for tonight. The next time I get on, I may tinker with items. I may have to revisit some areas to grab things that I missed, if I've missed anything that's particularly important to the SL1 run. But otherwise, we'll be getting back to this when I have free time, and definitely next Monday. But I may choose some other games to play in the intermediary. Thank you very much. This is Jupiter Exile. Until next we wander. Good night.